Welcome to News Now Alberta. This is Special Ed. Now, again, this one's old, and I'm going to hear it in the comments that this one's old. The thing is that it's still ongoing with this police station, that they are raiding wrong houses and pointing guns at kids.
Chicago police changing how they conduct search warrants after an 18-month CBS2 investigation exposed officers repeatedly raiding innocent families' homes.
Yeah, the mom of these children says it's not nearly enough. CBS2 investigator Dave Savini showed her newly uncovered body camera footage of her bad raid.
It's 8:30 at night.
I see lights.
You're inside a police car on Chicago's South Side.
We're sneaking.
A team of officers zeroes in on a house. 14 heavily armed cops
Swing up.
on the hunt for a heroin dealer with the street name Peanut.
Door's locked.
Did anybody knock?
No.
Good.
They just came in?
Search warrant, Chicago police!
Now, the law says that they have to announce themselves before breaking down a door, but they don't give you a chance to do anything, really, because they announce themselves while that hammer is swinging already.
Door's open. Go in. Watch the right.
But they are breaking into the wrong home.
Police, everyone, go!
And all they find are innocent children.
They had guns to our faces.
14-year-old Savannah in the purple shirt hits the ground. You are looking at the back end of a high-powered rifle. Lying next to her, still in his school uniform, is her 7-year-old brother, JJ. He was stunned at the sight of an assault rifle.
And they had their finger on a trigger.
Clear in there.
In another room, their 11-year-old sister, Talia, is face down, surrounded by more weapons. Their mother, Crystal Archie, watches for the first time what happened to her children. She was on her way home from work when the raid happened back in April of 2019.
Relax.
Please do not shoot me.
You're fine.
You know who's on the floor right there? Can you tell who's on the floor?
My daughter is on the floor. I can hear her. I can hear her yelling. I can hear her yelling. And you just see the guns at the back of her head.
Her oldest child, Savannah, was babysitting.
Come on, get up.
They're handling heavy artillery. It would have taken one slip of your finger, and my children would not be here.
Now, this does happen. I have a video of a bad raid where they accidentally shot a 12-year-old in the kneecap because the cop had his finger on the trigger.
We don't want to see that happen. We don't want to erode the trust with the community.
Now, for the first time, Chicago police are talking about the disturbing trend the CBS2 investigators exposed, which includes more than 23 children who say police pointed guns at them during wrong raids.
Where did they point the gun at you?
I wanted to like right here, but like straight at it.
Where did they point the rifle?
It was like around.
They pointed a gun at me.
When you saw some of the stories, what did you feel for some of these kids?
Based on the way that the footage was, you felt bad for them.
Now, the saying that based on the way the footage was leaves you open to an excuse that, you don't see everything on the footage and you don't know everything that's going on.
Chicago Police Lieutenant Matthew Klein and Risk Manager Michelle Morris.
Let's be clear, no child should have a gun pointed in his face.
They say the department is now adding training for officers to deal with children and creating a new search warrant policy aimed at protecting kids from trauma during raids.
Now, why wasn't this training there before? Is this a new thing? I mean, a lot of raids that you're going to do, a lot of doors that you're going to bust down, there's going to be kids in that house.
How are you going to deal with children?
We're making sure that if we know children to be present, that in our operational planning that it's discussed that there's going to be children in here.
What good is the plan if the officer, the affiant who's getting the warrant hasn't independently verified, double-checked and triple-checked the informant's information to make sure you're actually going into the right apartment or the right home?
Now, are there some that are not being done to the standards that we have? Absolutely, and that's being addressed.
Lieutenant Klein says there will be more oversight of the search warrant approval process, including a requirement mandating all officers run the proper public record checks through their information center at police headquarters.
And again, why does this have to be a new thing? Shouldn't you double check before you bust down a door and, ruin lives? Shouldn't you at least be sure that the address is correct for the person that you're looking for? I mean, they did admit there that they have a database for that.
To make sure they are rating the right addresses.
Things fell through the cracks and they didn't realize that that was the proper way to obtain this information.
Repeated failures to get addresses right, leaving behind a trail of trauma.
This is the saddest moment.
And still, the city is refusing to track these wrong raids, covering up just how big the problem really is. The little bit of data the CBS 2 investigators forced the city to release shows since 2016, police executed 6,800 search warrants. In nearly 3,000 cases, not a single arrest was made.
So that's 3,000 homes they went in without arresting anybody. That means that either the person wasn't there, which they should have known in advance, they didn't find anything that they were looking for, or it was the wrong house. Either way, this is not good.
We can't tell you how many of those 3,000 were wrong raids because tonight, even with the new policy in place, they admit they still have no method to track these kinds of wrong raids.
Are you creating any kind of a database for that, for those types of raids?
It has not currently been contemplated, but it might be in the future.
And while they still won't track all the wrong raids, there are changes requiring body cameras are rolling from start to finish at every single new raid.
It must be on the entire time.
At what point in the raid are they supposed to turn them off?
When they leave.
So every body cam policy that I've seen or I've read tells you that you don't shut your body cam off until the stop or the raid or whatever you're doing is completely over. And now they have to put that in policy again.
Which brings us back to the Archie raid, where we found the raid team cut their body cameras off after only 3 minutes. In fact, police stopped recording right after the cameras captured something happening to the children that's not only outrageous, it might even be illegal.
Hey, just tell us, do you know where the stuff's at? Because if you can tell us that, then we're out of here.
And with no parent present,
Over here. Have a seat. Hold your hands like your sister. No, like this. Hold your hands like this. All three of you.
continue questioning.
Any drugs? You know of any drugs that he sells?
Remember, this is the wrong house, and they never even heard of the guy named in the warrant.
So he stopped selling out of here? He stopped keeping it here?
Who?
Whoever keeps it here?
We never had it.
If not,
So this is illegal any way you look at it. They don't have a lawyer. They're too young to ask for a lawyer, so they should have one appointed. They don't have a guardian. They don't have a parent, or they don't have a worker with them.
Children say the interrogation continued, followed by a search of the home. But there's no body camera video of that because the sergeant in charge gave this order.
If everybody's secure, we can kill cameras.
The kids say when the police left, they told them they would return.
And there was a real fear from the children that they might come back.
Absolutely. I've literally walked into the apartment and I just cry. And there's no way to feel about going home. And that's my life now.
3 weeks after that raid, police raided the family's home again. We can't show you what happened that time because we are told none of those officers used body cameras.
So the first time they didn't find that peanut they're looking for. They didn't find drugs. They traumatized kids. They questioned kids without a parent present. And then they do it all over again without cameras this time. So here I'm showing you the 2015 version of their policy which is before all the updates. So at the time of the raid, this was their policy already. And it might have been changed a few times, from there to the raid, but it says that they have to have their camera on.
It's been 10 months since those raids, and no one from Internal Affairs or the Civilian Office of Police Accountability, the agency that investigates police misconduct, has reached out to interview Crystal Archie or her kids. The Archies filed a federal lawsuit against CPD about 6 months ago.
Now, there are many, many bad raids by this police department. I did show you before the video of that child getting shot in the kneecap. I will link it in my description. And there are many more videos out there from this department, many more lawsuits for this department. And I hope that the families win each and every one of them. This is absolutely disgusting. Still going on now. And not just this police department, many police departments are doing wrong raids where there's children involved. What do you think of this? How can we stop this? Please let me know in the comments. Check out my Patreon, where for $1 a month you can get my videos a week in advance with other perks coming. Please share, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.